Hi, my name is Sabrina Jacobs, and this semester I was placed in a preschool program at Kyrene de la Estrella. In my preschool classroom, I evaluated 50 books from different curriculum themes. Out of all the books I read, 16 of them had animals as the main characters. There were an equal amount of female and male main characters, with 10 each, but there were surprisingly more female characters overall compared to male characters. Out of all the books I read, 19 of them featured white main characters, while only 8 books had African American main characters, 3 had Asian American main characters, 1 had a Latin main character, and none of the books featured any Native or Indigenous people. I was surprised to see that there was a series of books in my classroom called Disabilities and Differences that featured people with disabilities and explained how they're just like everyone else. That book had people with disabilities as the main characters, and there were 2 other books that featured characters with disabilities as well. The rest of the books I looked at had 0 characters with any type of disability. 4 of the books in my classroom took place in a suburban setting, 2 took place in a rural setting, and 1 took place in an urban setting. Other than that, none of the books specified with words or pictures as to the environment. None of the books even mentioned what country they were in. I took it for granted that they were all placed in the US, but even that was not specified. Not a single book in my classroom had any LGBT characters or talked about any LGBT issues, and none of the books in my class featured any characters participating in religious practices or events. Overall, I think the books in my classroom do an okay job of being a mirror for my students, but they could definitely do a better job. However, I do think that they provide a decent window for the students. While none of the books in my class mentioned other countries, sexual orientations, or religions, they did a decent job showing people of color or disabilities. Only 3 of the books I randomly chose had characters with disabilities, but I saw that there was a whole series in my classroom related to people with disabilities, which really surprised me. Since half the kids in my class are special ed, that part was very exciting for me to find. In my preschool placement this semester, there were 10 students, 4 girls and 6 boys. Half of the students were white, 3 were Asian American, 1 student was African American, and 1 student was Latina. Half of the students had disabilities, and 3 of them spoke a language other than English. All 10 of my students lived in the suburbs around the school district. Thank you for watching.